Hello, my name's Daff and welcome to my blog, Journey to a Better Me. This is where I'm sharing my thoughts on how I'm trying to get to be a better person. I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's looked at my first blog post and the kind words of encouragement and support that you've given me for that first blog post. It's helped me to have the courage to keep going and do the second post. So in this post today, I'm going to talk about my experiences as the husband of a pregnant wife over that pregnancy. So for me, it started, we obviously were planning to have our child. Well, we didn't know that, but we were planning to have our child. And we fell pregnant, and it was a bit of a shock. I wasn't expecting it to happen quite as quickly as it did. And it took a couple of hours to sink in, but once it sunk in, it was wow, this is great, I'm going to be a dad. And it's pretty hard to keep the smile off my face for that first day. I was pretty chuffed and happy, and lots of congratulations and champagne drinking. It was a really nice couple of weeks. Well, we told everyone that we were telling. Obviously, was a bit nervous because people, a lot of women lose babies, miscarriages in the first 12 weeks. So obviously, it was a very nervous first 12 weeks for me. And I didn't really invest in the pregnancy until after that 12 weeks, and things became a little bit more solid. As I sit here now, and I have before, I think back to those early days in the pregnancy, and I realise I didn't really invest into the pregnancy and really understand the implications of becoming a father and what it meant when we fell pregnant. And I think that's because for me it wasn't really very real until a lot later than it was for my wife. We had our 6-week scan, and there was a beautiful little blob on the screen and a little heart bit flickering, but it wasn't very real. It was that was nice, but what's this little blob? Doesn't really mean a lot. And then we did the whole time up until our second scan, which was 21 weeks. So that's quite a bit of time. And we talked about pregnancy stuff, and we talked about baby things and cots and prams and all the rest of it. But still wasn't super real. I mean, I saw the morning sickness and the cravings, and I dealt with mood swings when they happened, but it wasn't sort of really real. It's like, oh, you're not feeling well. It happens to people. It wasn't for me until 21 weeks when we had that first scan that it really started to become real. I can remember clearly holding my wife's hand and looking up at the screen as the ultrasound goes over this baby and seeing beautiful little hands and feet and legs and this wonderful face, and you can see this perfectly formed baby, and this is a little person, and it's growing inside my wife, and that's an incredible thing. It was, I don't think I have the words to describe to you the feeling of awe and amazement. They don't cut the feelings I had when I saw this little child. And then life started to pick up a bit of pace. We had to get everything ready for when our little daughter came along, and it's, you don't really think about it. And it wasn't until later on, sort of about 4 or 5 weeks ago, when we were lying in bed, and my wife had been feeling our child kick and move around for a little while, and I'd been trying to feel it as well, but every time I couldn't feel it at all. I couldn't feel any movement. And I can remember clearly the first time I could feel our little girl kick me, and it was like a little flick to my hand. It was incredible. It really for me solidified this little child's coming along, and this is going to be my little baby girl when she comes out. And so that for me really kicked me into gear to start improving who I was, because I realised this child was coming out, and for the rest of their life, the decisions I make now are going to have an effect on that. And I really needed to make sure that I was making the best possible decisions, because I do feel quite young. So what I did is I started looking at my core values, who I was as a person, and the decisions I make, and what motivates those decisions. It's a fantastic thing to do, and I recommend it to everyone else out there. Even if you're not having a child, it's very good for you as a person to know what your core values are and how you make your decisions. So in a later blog post, I will put up what my core values are, how I got to them, and give you some great links to get some information about those kind of things. But yeah, I suppose for me in this first inspo post, I just wanted to let you know that for me it wasn't really real until I started to feel our little girl moving, and I don't think it's going to become any more real until I'm holding our little girl in my arms in 6 weeks' time. It's only 6 weeks to go. So, and I would say, if you're an expectant father out there, you're in the same position as mine, get on it now, start working on your core values, start growing who you are as a person, because it will make you feel better and help you deal with the fear of, looking after your child. So that's the post for today. Thank you very much for dropping by and saying hello. If you haven't already had a look, have a look at the first blog post. And like I say, another one, I'm always happy to hear your comments. Any feedback you've got is great. You have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. So.